The San Francisco Symphony brings extraordinary multi-sensory experiences to the immersive underground club atmosphere of Soundbox. February 6th and 7th, be surrounded by the dream world of Dream Awake, a new program curated by violinist Alexi Kenny. Experience the sounds of a lush garden at twilight, the fear and frenzy of a shadowy nightmare, and a finale warmed by the welcome rays of the rising sun. Don't miss Soundbox, February 6th and 7th. Tickets at sfsymphony.org.
Welcome to Secrets of a Sugar Daddy. Here's your host, Marcus.
Welcome to another episode of Secrets of a Sugar Daddy, the #1 sugar dating podcast in the world, where we pull back the curtains on the good and the bad and the shocking stories of sugar dating. A lot going on today, or a lot going on this last week. We'll get you caught up. I've got Nikki with me. How are you?
I am doing good. Hello.
Good to see you. We're enjoying absolutely gorgeous weather while the rest of the country is under ice and snow and freezing
awful
weather.
Everywhere else.
I'll tell you what. I could work for the Chamber of Commerce of Maricopa County because I'm all on board with this kind of weather. If you guys haven't experienced Arizona during the winter, you are missing out. You're also missing out if you haven't joined our Patreon. How do you like that segue? It's like our family, and we've got some new tiers, new structures, a lot of activity going on in there. We are posting multiple times a week, sometimes multiple times a day. A lot of good stuff coming through. We really want to encourage you guys to join the family. It's as little as $15 a month, and we have some coaching and profile reviews available. Matter of fact, I got a letter in from a guy that needs a lot of coaching. We've already done some coaching with him, but I'm going to read you the letter because he has a bunch of great questions that we can go over. And then, you get to hear all the podcasts and the episodes and the extra sugars before anybody else, and lots of behind the scenes photos and videos. So it's a lot of fun. And the most important thing, bringing you guys together is very important, but we need funds to help keep this thing going. And that small little amount that you contribute, we really appreciate it. And 100% of it goes towards the podcast. It does not go towards my sugar baby fund, which is ridiculously overextended at this point. But I'll get you caught up on that too. Anyway, Nikki tells me she's been doing a little bit of experimentation.
Yes.
We like experimentation.
Yes.
All right. Fill me in.
It's not sexual experimentation.
Okay.
So I hate to burst everyone's bubble. So I'm really big on manners. And I've been reading this book about etiquette. And there's a whole section in there about dating etiquette. So
wait, what book is this?
It's called Mind Your Manners.
Oh, I've heard of it.
Yep. She had a Netflix show for a short time, like 6 episodes. It was short.
This sounds like something we all need to understand and learn.
The section on dating, whether she's right or wrong, it made perfect sense to me. So I thought, okay, I'm going to try some of these techniques and see about some of these guys. So I had 2 guys that I met on Seeking. And one thing she says in the book is that if 2 people are out on a date and they want to take an Uber somewhere together, so they're both going to be in the back seat. Mm-hmm. The guy should open the door for the woman gets in, the guy should walk around to the other side and get in the other side. I can't really remember in my past, but I'm pretty sure I have been asked to slide over.
All right, hop in and slide your ass over.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I thought, okay, I'm going to try this because, we shouldn't be asked to slide over if we're in like heels and a dress and you don't know what's on that seat that you're sliding on and all that. So we get in the Uber. He opens the door for me. I get in. I stay put, reach for my seatbelt. He made a nasty comment.
Who's he?
The guy that I was with, the date. He said, oh, well, I'll just walk around to the traffic side then.
Wow.
I could not believe it.
So he was inconvenienced.
Yes, he was inconvenienced. He just expected me to slide over, which according to the author, a woman should not slide over at all. So
I wouldn't be offended by that at all. Matter of fact, I think.
what do you do?
Yeah, I'm trying to think on any time that we've gotten an Uber. Yeah, I always open the door for her, and then I'll go around to the other side unless she's already scooting over without me asking. If she's already doing it, then I'm fine. I'll slide in. But yeah, I would never think that would be acceptable for me to say, hey, babe, can you scoot your ass over there to the other side?
And I wonder how many women assume that they should just slide over. Because I'm trying to remember in my past, if I haven't been asked to slide over, I may have just assumed it and slid over.
Well, now I'm going to be conscious about that.
Yeah,
Next time
I think
do
everybody should, women and men. I think this is a good tip for
Uber
them.
etiquette.
Yeah.
That's a very contemporary. It's something that we deal with now.
So that was one experiment, and I decided after that I wasn't going to go out with the guy again. That was for me a red flag.
How did the rest of the date go?
Well, that was after we had dinner together, and dinner was fine. And then we were going in the Uber to somewhere else to get dessert.
Where'd you have dinner?
At the Americano.
Oh, okay. Did you like it?
I did.
It was good. You're the one that talked about the speakeasy underneath there?
Yeah.
I still need to try that out.
And last time I was there, I had dessert, and I didn't like their dessert. So that's why we wanted to go somewhere else for dessert.
Was that your idea? You suggested it?
I suggested the Americano for dinner. Mm-hmm. But I told him I didn't like their dessert. So we already knew we would take an Uber and go somewhere else.
Well, that's kind of nice, too, because now you can kind of let things sit. A lot of times I'm so stuffed I can't do dessert. But if you wait 30 minutes or so, hey, let's do dessert.
We went to Buck and Ryder for dessert.
Oh, nice.
Because they have an amazing chocolate cake.
Do they?
It's huge, too.
I don't know that I've ever had it there, but I've
really
eaten there quite a bit. It's good, yeah.
Yeah. So then the other experiment... You know how we've talked before about people men or women who monopolize the conversation? So
many discussions on that.
In this book, Mind Your Manners, she addresses that. And she says that you should never talk more than 20 seconds before pushing it to the other person. So it should be balanced like that, about 20 seconds. And I thought, I know darn well I've been with men who have talked way more than 20 seconds and they just monopolize everything. So with the second guy, I decided before doing a meet and greet, I would do a phone call. And that if he broke that rule, I would not do a meet and greet because that would tell me that he is too much of a talker. And I've had it with guys who just monopolize the conversation. So we agreed on a 30-minute phone call, and I timed him. And he talked at first for 15 minutes.
15 minutes nonstop?
Yep. And when he finally took a breath and asked me a question, 15 minutes later, in the middle of my answer, he interrupted, and he talked for another 10 minutes.
Insane. Men, women, insane.
Yes.
You know, that reminds me of an incident I had many years ago. I was living in my rental house that I was remodeling, and it was during my divorce, or right after. And I had a girl that lived with me. I met her on Seeking, but she lived in the other side of the house because she was in between places. And we had a small thing going for a while, but then it didn't work out. But we still remained friends. So she was still at the house. And there was this unbelievably gorgeous woman who I had somehow gotten to give me time of day. She does modeling, but she's also a truck driver, believe it or not.
Oh.
And she's this gorgeous blonde from Texas. She does a lot in the trucking community, but she's definitely one of these girls that they put up on their walls or in their trucks because she sexy pictures in front of like a 18-wheeler, right?
Oh, wow.
The short shorts and the boots and blonde hair and everything. So I'm thrilled to death to have this opportunity to date her. Well, she calls me at the house, and it was the same thing as you, like literally talked for 15 or 20 minutes. I didn't time it, but there was at one point, my roommate was sitting at the kitchen table. I set the phone down, walked outside, got my mail, did a couple other things, came in. She's still talking, and I go, has she shut up? And she goes, or did she ever pause? She goes, no, she's been talking nonstop. I'm not kidding you. And I went out with her a few times. We corresponded quite a bit for like 6 months. I guarantee she doesn't even remember who I am or anything about me. It was I couldn't take it.
So she never asked you anything about yourself?
Nothing. She knew nothing. She talked. One day I was going to Vegas and she wanted me to take a picture of this old like 1940s or 50s truck that was in Boulder City, right before you get to Vegas, a small little town. She knew about this truck and she was wondering if it was she couldn't remember. She didn't have any pictures of it, but she was wondering if it would be a good spot for her to do some modeling photos. So she calls me and I tell her, yeah, I'm on my way to Vegas. I'll stop by there. I'll get you some pictures of this truck and then send them to you and you can see if this will work. I'm not kidding you. There's about a 50-minute stretch, 45-minute stretch from Kingman to like where you enter the Hoover Dam area. Mm-hmm. I don't think I said a word.
Wow.
She talked the whole time. Now, it was fine with me because I'm driving.
Yeah.
And it was just kind of, I just put her on speakerphone and listened to her talk.
Yeah.
I don't know how somebody can talk that much.
I know.
And be completely unaware of the other person.
Yep. That there's no balance in the conversation.
Yeah. So are you going to see this guy?
No, it did not go to a meet and greet after that phone
Yeah.
call because that tells me how the meet and greet's going to go. And I've been on meet and greets where I didn't do a call and the meet and greet was like that and I couldn't stand it. So that definitely did not happen. So that was the extent of my experimenting, but that book is really interesting with the dating protocol part of it.
Yeah.
It really goes into a lot of detail, and who knows if this is just her opinion or what. She's Asian, but she went to school in the UK and she lived in the US. So she's multicultural.
Oh, yeah.
So she's been around and she understands the cultures and the dating dynamics. So she's pretty reputable. It was an interesting experiment.
So you know what? This is great timing for me. And I love the subject because I talked about how I had a girlfriend when I was in my 20s and she, when I got out of the car one day, we were doing something and I got up to the front door and I looked back and she's still sitting in the car. And it was like a big wake up call for me. Like, hey, get some manners, be a little chivalrous. Yep. So that was a big wake up call for me. And then I've been very conscious of it ever since.
I think she talks about that in the book also,
yeah.
about that men should go around and let the woman out.
And like I said, I think last week, Alejandra will just sit there until I open up the door, right? It's very rare that she jumps out of the car. Maybe if we're in a hurry or we're in a casual setting or something, but like 98% of the time, she'll sit there and wait for me to come open the door. I mean, that's a big thing for her.
You're listening to Secrets of a Sugar Daddy.
The San Francisco Symphony brings extraordinary multi-sensory experiences to the immersive underground club atmosphere of Soundbox. February 6th and 7th, be surrounded by the dream world of Dream Awake, a new program curated by violinist Alexei Kinney. Experience the sounds of a lush garden at twilight, the fear and frenzy of a shadowy nightmare, and a finale warmed by the welcome rays of the rising sun. Don't miss Soundbox, February 6th and 7th. Tickets at sfsymphony.org.
Now back to the show with your host, Marcus.
I have to read 10 pages of a nonfiction book every day for the next 75 days. Yes.
Oh.
So 3 years ago, I did 75 hard. And
what is that?
It's just a challenge. And it's a really simple list of things you have to do every day, but it's not easy. Right? Mm-hmm. There's simple and there's easy, and those are two different things. And I'll just go down them real quick. One of them is a 45-minute workout every day. The second one is, and you have to separate these two, a 45-minute outdoor exercise every day. It could be walking.
Separate.
It could be jogging. But mostly we just walk around the block. But it has to be outdoors. No alcohol for 75 days.
Okay.
That's fine. I've given up alcohol before. No big deal. I can do that. The tough thing is I got a lot of cool events coming up, like the Phoenix Open golf tournament, the biggest party in the world, which I usually get sweet tickets, and those come with unlimited drinks and unlimited food. And I love to partake and get my money's worth. So that's going to be a little disappointing that I'm not going to be able to do that, but that's fine. And then I've got my buddy's I got a buddy from my country club, and he's turning 70, still very young at heart. But he's taken us, like 8 of us, down to Cabo San Lucas for his birthday party and to play golf and stuff. And there's going to be a lot of shenanigans going on down there. And I'm going to have to be sipping water the whole time. So speaking of water, you have to drink a gallon of water a day.
That's a lot.
It's a lot. But I start, when I work out in the morning, I start out with a liter. And then, by noon, I've already drinking another liter. And then, by the end of the day, I can usually get my gallon in here. I'm mixing metrics with U.S. standard, but, basically 4 liters or whatever is a gallon. So, or 4 quarts is a gallon. So I'll drink that. And then you have to follow some kind of a diet, right? And I'm just basically on a modified carnivore diet. I do carbs a little bit, or vegetables, but I'm not eating any breads. No sugars. I don't have any sugars in my diet. Just I get these pre-fixed meals delivered to my house. Yeah,
those are great.
They have a blackened tilapia or cod. I can't remember which one it is. It's so good with rice and broccoli, and I eat like that every day, and I don't get tired of it. It's so good, and they're portioned and stuff. They're very, very tasty, and then the water fills you up too, so you're not as hungry. And then you have to read 10 pages of a nonfiction book every day.
Oh.
Okay. That's a requirement. Nonfiction. And I'm not a reader. I don't have time. But I force myself to do it. And I actually get more out of that than I get at anything else. Now, last time I did it, I lost 26 pounds. And here's another reason why I'm kind of doing it. Well, Alejandra started doing it. And she didn't ask me to do it with her. She's like, okay, starting on Monday, I'm going to start the 75 hard, because she's been getting a little bit lazy on the working out, and she's like, okay, I'm done with this. I'm going to start 75 hard. Well, same for me. Even though I work out every day, I've been eating I go out to eat with Trucker and Lily and guests, who are in from the show and friends, and we eat good, and it's just hard not to partake.
Yep.
So I secretly started the program with Alejandra again.
Okay.
Last week. Yeah, I didn't tell her I was going to do it. And then after the first or second day, I go, hey, I'm doing it with you. And she was so excited because she didn't want to do it alone. So now we're doing it together, which is nice. But the last time I did it it ended around this time 3 years ago. And then, of course, on my iPhone, I get memories pop up. And I had a before and after memory that had popped up. Here's a memory from 3 years ago, and I'd put a collage together of me before and me after. And I looked at me after, and I was like, I want that body back. It was my abs actually started showing a little bit. Like I said, I lost 26 pounds. I was feeling really good, but slowly I've just let myself gain a couple pounds here, a couple pounds there, and then all of a sudden I'm like, damn, I'm back to where I was. So anyway, I'm on that journey. I don't know if I can make it 75 days. And this is what I always say. I could do it one day, but then, I can complete it one day, and then you just wake up the next morning and go like, okay, just complete it one day. Yeah. And you just really do it one day at a time. That's all you can think about until 75 days is over. So I like to call it the 1 day challenge.
After the 75 days, can you stay on it if you want to?
I mean, it's good habits. So the reason he did it 75 days is trying to create good habits. Okay. So I'll continue working out every day. I don't know. We'll see how it goes, but definitely it's going to be it's going to be tough getting back to where I was. But once I get there, I don't want to lose it again.
Right.
Right. So anyway, we've started that.
What book are you going to read?
Okay. So once I finished the book that I'm working on now, which is a golf book, it's a nonfiction story from the 50s, and it's really good. But I'm going to pick up that book you're talking about.
Mind Your Manners.
I love reading things that I can apply to my life and then see how they work. And then, we'll talk about it on the show, and it might be applicable to other people and help them in their dating life.
And I have it on audio. You can get it either way. So I listen to it on audio. But she also covers all kinds of other etiquette, like group gatherings. And you go out a lot with groups. And so there might be a lot of other things in there that apply to your life in addition to dating. Yeah.
Well, and another reason, too, I want to at least shed a few pounds is because congratulations, Dr. Charles out of San Diego, one of our biggest fans of the show. He's been on the show many times. He's invited us to San Diego, and we've had a lot of fun. We've been on his yacht and been to some great dinners, stayed in his downtown condo, a fantastic host, and we've always had a lot of fun with Dr. Charles. Well, he's been dating his sugar baby for years now, and they're getting married. I think they're getting married in Cancun on Valentine's Day. Oh. But I think that's going to be just a token ceremonial type wedding, because I think I saw on his Instagram yesterday, he said it's official, and it showed him and his woman, Priscilla.
Already married?
It showed them at the altar or at something. It was just them two, though, and he said it's official. And I'm like, maybe they just got it done down at the commissioner's office or downtown or at the Justice of the Peace, whatever. I don't know how they do it in California. Mm-hmm. And then they're going to have like the big celebration type wedding in Cancun.
Okay.
So Lily and Trucker are going. I just booked my flights and to get there. And it's like a 4-day minimum, so we're gonna be there 5 days, 4 nights.
Wow.
Even though I'm fucking busy with work and I don't even know how I'm gonna take that time off. I hope I get good cell service down there.
Because that's in a few weeks.
Yeah, it's in a few weeks, yeah.
Coming up.
So I haven't told Alejandra this yet, but I booked American Airlines down there and I booked Southwest back, but American Airlines had, for one person, it was like $360 or something. And then you got to pay for checked baggage. But for first class, it was only like $560, and you get 2 bags for free.
Yeah.
So for a few hundred, I started adding it up. By the time I pay for bags, I've almost paid for first class.
That's right.
So I went ahead and booked 2 first class tickets down there. It just wasn't that much extra. And for a 4-hour ride, it's going to be really nice.
Yep.
Now, I couldn't get that coming back, so we're just going on Southwest with Trucker and Lily, and that's what they're on. So we'll slum it on the way back. Looking forward to that. It's going to be a lot of fun hanging out with Dr. Charles.
Have you met his?
Oh, yeah. We've been to San Diego many times and hung out with them, and we really got to know her. We didn't know what to think of her, right? Because we just didn't know her. But then Alejandra and I had dinner with them, and then Lily and Trucker went last time, and we all hung out, went on his boat, and really got to know her a lot better. And it's genuine. Like, she's genuinely in love with him.
That's great.
Yeah, even though there's this big age difference. Mm-hmm. And he's head over heels with her, and he's done the whole sugar baby thing, multiple sugar babies, spent millions of dollars. But, yeah, he's found the one that he's really, really in love with, so...
So they're totally monogamous now and exclusive and all that?
They're 100% exclusive.
What a great story.
Now it's a traditional relationship, and it's going to be a traditional marriage.
And what's the age difference?
Let's see. I think he's 63 or 4, and then she's in her 30s.
Okay.
Mid-30s, I think.
Okay.
So I think almost 30 years, 28 years, somewhere around there.
And how long have they been going out?
A few years, 2 or 3 years. They separated for a while, and then they got back together, and then he was still trying to date a couple girls behind her back and almost got kicked to the curb. He got in a lot of trouble.
Did he?
Yeah, but he realized, I better get my act together. And so anyway, great guy. I look forward to seeing him and his lovely bride and enjoying this wedding that's going to happen in Mexico.
Should you have started the 75-day challenge later? Like
You know what?
after?
There's never a good time to start it.
It's true. Yeah.
There really isn't. I got too much going on in my life
Yeah.
to think, oh, maybe I should start it here or there. Or, we're just doing it. And I'm, just this week, I'm already down 5 pounds. So
Just this week?
Yeah.
That's
I'm just
great.
eating so much better. It's not that I'm not exercising. I've already been exercising, but I've been eating bad. So now I'm really conscious about my eating
Yeah.
and drinking a lot of water instead of diet soda. I know diet soda is only 0 calories and you shouldn't gain weight. But they're like, oh, it's so bad for you. Whatever. I love diet soda. I'm going to drink it again. But for the next 75 days, I'm not going to drink any soda.
And do you track things?
Yeah, it's there's an app,
Oh, all right.
75 Hard. Here, I'll pull it up. And you just check off every day. You just check off your goals. Let me see. I don't think I missed anything. So let's see. Yeah, so it's just like day 4, and then there's just some
goes by
goals
day.
here, and then you just check them off.
Okay.
So it's 45-minute workout, 45-minute outdoor workout. Take a progress picture. That's another thing. You have to take a picture of yourself every single day.
Every day.
That's one of the requirements. That's very simple, right? Mm-hmm. It's simple. Mm-hmm. 10 pages of reading, drink a gallon of water, follow a diet, and no cheat meals or alcohol.
Oh, so no cheat meals either.
Well, yeah, you got. I mean, that's
I know.
part of following a diet, right?
Yeah, that makes sense.
But you can follow any diet you want. You just have to stick to it.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Enough about that. Oh, I guess one other thing before I get to these letters. So, I always tell you guys about ChatGPT and how you can just use it so much more. And we even had an episode called, what was it? Something about being a texting guru or something like that. Oh, your text game can really improve by using ChatGPT. Because that's the hardest thing to do for men, and keep somebody interested. So, like I said, I don't message women on Seeking. I only kind of respond to messages that I get. But there was one that popped up, and my God, I mean, this girl is just stunning. I don't know. I have a problem. She's 5'7", Latina, and here, I'm going to show you a picture.
She is stunning. She is hot. Yep.
Like probably one of the most beautiful girls I've ever seen on
Yeah.
here, right?
And she messaged you?
No, she didn't
That's
message
a cute
me.
picture. Oh, she didn't.
No. I mean, look at these.
Mm-hmm. She's got good photos on there.
Oh, she's so photogenic. And there's some full body ones too. Like, that she's not
Yep.
packing on like
Yep. That's important.
a big
the
caboose
full body
or whatever,
ones.
right? So anyway, her bio is pretty, it's not just a few words. It's pretty involved here. She's got quite
She
a bit.
put a lot into that.
Yeah, she put a lot into it. And then about what she's looking for. So she
Okay.
makes it pretty clear. I don't know what to say to somebody like this to get their attention. So, at the end of it, she says, send me a fun and intriguing message to get the party started. Be you, be different. Well, so Mark has put that whole bio that she wrote into ChatGPT, and it gave me like 4 or 5 options. So I used this one. You had me at busting chops and zero drama. Anyone who can hang at a dive bar and a steakhouse, loves dogs, and rocks 70s to 90s music clearly knows how to enjoy life. And then I just added at the end my own. I'll be happy to share my photos and speak freely at my phone number. Mm-hmm. And then I put my name, Marcus. Well, she responded almost immediately and said, ha ha ha, hell yeah, exclamation point. Then it sounds like we would have a good time. I'll text you mañana, Marcus.
What a great response.
So, but she hasn't texted me yet.
But how long ago was that?
That was 2 days ago.
Okay.
But I'll give her a chance. If I don't hear from her again in a week or so, I'll throw this into ChatGPT and say, hey, give me a follow-up that doesn't sound like I'm needy or desperate, right?
Yeah.
And then I had another incident. So that was pretty exciting. I don't know if I'll meet her. And good Lord, I can't afford another sugar baby. But I'm doing this for you guys. I'm doing the experimentation for you guys to let you know how you can get somebody's attention that you couldn't normally get, right? So then I had this other one where, again, she was gorgeous and just a little cut above the rest. And I'd messaged her like 2 months ago. I go, because she was brand new, 29. Said, hi, is this your first time on the site? And then I said, I'll be happy to share my photos and speak freely at blah, 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 blank, Marcus. No response. So I let 2 months go by, and I saw her again, and I'm like, well, sometimes they just, but then if a guy checks back with her, she'll sometimes like, oh, let me give him another look, you know, and she'll look at it again and like, oh, okay, yeah, I can see this, you know, this guy might have some potential. So then like 4 days ago, I go, hey, how's your Sunday? We should chat over a drink or two. I promise you'll be glad you did. Now, none of this I put into ChatGPT. This is my own stuff. Maybe, I don't know, maybe it's good, maybe it's not. And then she responded pretty quickly. I go, hello, thank you for reaching out, but I don't think we are looking for the same things. Okay, what's your first response when you read something like that?
Well, I'm wondering why she even, like, how would she know?
I know. My bio is pretty, like, I do have a lot of stuff in there, but it's very light.
Yeah.
Nothing too heavy. I'm like.
That's like what you would say to someone after you've gotten to know them and you know their goals aren't the same as yours.
How do you even know me? But my first instinct was like, oh, really? What are you looking for? I'm surprised that we're not looking for the same. So I asked ChatGPT, and it said, absolutely do not say that. Oh. It said, leave it with class, like a high value man would leave it. And it gave me like 3 or 4 different replies to her. And then I was like, okay, that's good. So my reply via ChatGPT, being a high value man's response, is, no worries at all. I appreciate you letting me know. Best of luck out there. And if things ever shift, feel free to say hello.
Oh, I like that.
So
wow. I
didn't give her the standard, what are you talking about? Why would you say that? You don't even know me, blah, blah, blah. You know what? I'm a high value man, at least in my eyes and hopefully in theirs. I'm just walk away. And that reminds me too, there's a kind of a thought that you can have for men when you're responding to things that come up. One good thing, one way you can do it is ask yourself, what would James Bond do here? Oh. Now that's a high value
Mr.
man.
Bond.
What would James Bond do in this situation? And if you say, well, James Bond's a cool cat, and he would just say, well, hit me up if if things change. If things change, and walk away and never look back. That's what James Bond would do. And you know what? James Bond is the ultimate alpha man, and he always gets the girl in the end.
Yes, and he would never ask her to slide over in an Uber.
No. So men, if you don't have ChatGPT available, or you just don't know what to do or say in a situation, just think in the back of your head, what would James Bond do here? And I'm telling you what, if you think about what James Bond would do here, and you follow that road,
advice,
you're probably going to be better off, and the girl's going to look at you differently than all the other men.
That's right.
So, my little advice to you.
You're listening to Secrets of a Sugar Daddy.
The San Francisco Symphony brings extraordinary multi-sensory experiences to the immersive underground club atmosphere of Soundbox. February 6th and 7th, be surrounded by the dream world of Dream Awake, a new program curated by violinist Alexi Kenny. Experience the sounds of a lush garden at twilight, the fear and frenzy of a shadowy nightmare, and a finale warmed by the welcome rays of the rising sun. Don't miss Soundbox, February 6th and 7th. Tickets at sfsymphony.org.
Daddy. Now back to the show with your host, Marcus.
What do you think is a good response time? I know everyone's got a different opinion about this. From a woman's perspective, we feel like if it's longer than a day, they're probably not interested. But there's other perspectives, which also make sense because people travel, people are sick, there's a lot happening with family. There could be many reasons why people don't respond. From a man's perspective, what do you think is a reasonable response time?
So I just had an incident on Sunday. I was supposed to go out with the twin, and I told her, hey, let's, I think earlier in the week, maybe like Wednesday or Thursday, I was asking her when she was available, and we agreed on Sunday. So I said, great, I'll make plans and I'll talk to you then. So that morning came up, and I realized I can't go out. I have got too much going on. I had some other obligations that I needed to take care of. So I messaged her that morning and go, hey, beautiful, I'm going to have to cancel today, but I'd really love to see you, and maybe we can reschedule. I'm available, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So just let me know when you're free. I get no response.
Oh.
All day long.
Okay.
So then all of a sudden my Monday freed up also because my plans changed there. So later in the day, like 12 hours later, I messaged her and I said, hey, I'm also free on Monday. So you just let me know. End of the day, no response. Nothing.
Uh-oh.
And I'm like, huh, well, this is not good. So then Alejandra and Taylor are telling me, oh, she'll respond. Sometimes, they'll say, I go days and sometimes don't respond.
Oh.
But then I'll finally get back to somebody. I'm like, and so then Monday comes, nothing. And Alejandra's like, do not text her again. I go, I'm not planning on it. She always tries to, she always scolds me if I text somebody more than once. I said, no, I'm not planning on it. I mean, if she's got my messages. If she doesn't want to go out again, then that's fine. I mean, it's going to save me some money. Anyway, so Monday comes, almost the end of the day, Monday, nothing. And then all of a sudden I get a text that says, hey, sorry for the delay. Are you still available tomorrow?
What?
Yeah. And I'm like, well, I'm not. I've already made plans now because I hadn't heard from you. I didn't say that. But I said, no, I'm not available Tuesday, but I am Wednesday or Thursday. And she says, okay, let's do Thursday.
Oh.
Which is today.
Yeah.
And so now we're going to go out tonight. And this is really funny. Alejandra's probably going to make me take this out of the podcast, but it's still pretty funny. I'm going to say it anyway. Because, again, we had to edit a lot of the last one, and she took a lot out and it hit the floor. But she said, oh, okay, so you're going out Thursday. So, anyway, I'm going out with Alejandra on Friday. And then she walked away. I was in my bedroom. She walked away back in the kitchen. And then like 5 minutes later, she comes bursting back into my bedroom and she goes, you're going out with her on her birthday. I was like, oh my God, it is her birthday.
So today's her birthday?
Yeah, I did not. I completely forgot. But I was in the doghouse all day yesterday.
So Alejandra remembered that it was her birthday.
She remembered it was her birthday. I forgot. So she's like, I can't believe you're taking her out for her birthday. Because see, what happens now is it makes Alejandra feel less special.
Yep.
That's tough for me because I don't want that to happen, but I'd already agreed to the date, so I'm not going to cancel on her again, especially not on her birthday. So anyway,
I wonder what
funny little dilemma.
I wonder what took her so long to respond. This
I don't
is where
know.
it's so hard to know because there are people that play games by not responding and by stringing someone along, and then there are people that have legitimate reasons for taking so long to respond. So it's really hard to know.
And so guys, it takes a while for girls to get into you, right? So if they don't respond immediately, just let it go, let it marinate.
And my problem is that I'm a fast responder.
Yeah.
Whether the dating world or the professional world or anything, or my family, I'm a fast responder. And so I have the same expectation for others, which probably is not fair because others may not be fast responders just by nature. They might just take their time, or they open a text and look at it and close the text and forget, something like that. So I have a problem seeing it from that perspective.
Yeah. No, I'm a pretty quick responder too. And there's been times that I didn't respond just because for a while, just because I'm super busy. I'm with customers or clients. I'm doing things, and I just don't find it that it's that important that I respond right then and there. But when you're trying to make plans for a date,
yes,
that gets annoying.
It does, right? There should be quicker responses for that because, as you experienced, you had already made plans for the day she wanted to be available. So that does make it hard.
Okay, before I run out of time, let's get to some of these questions because I think they're good. And this is being asked by a newbie, a new sugar baby. Okay, so maybe you can give us some insight. She wrote me on Instagram, and I tell you guys all the time, if you want to get a hold of us, you can get a hold of us through our website, through Patreon, or through Instagram, are three of the great ways to do it. This one came from Instagram. We're calling her Sarah. So Sarah says, here's some questions from a newbie sugar dater. Number 1, it's common to use fake names on your seeking profile. When is it appropriate to let your person know your real name? After first date, after 5 dates, when?
Well, I do it as soon as we get off the platform and exchange phone numbers.
Yeah.
Then when he reaches out to me through my Google Voice, then I say what my real name is.
Yeah. Yeah. It's funny because I was at a restaurant with somebody and they know me as Marcus because that's all I ever told them.
At the restaurant, you mean the staff?
No, the date.
Oh, the date.
The date only knows me as Marcus.
Oh, okay.
And then I'll either be telling a story or I'll put my credit card down or I'll even say, I have a reservation for I mean, blank. I'll say my real name and they're like, kind of look at me. Or a lot of times though, it's happening when I tell a story.
Okay.
I'll use my real name
Okay.
and they're like, are you blank or are you Marcus? And I'm like, oh, yeah. No, I go by both. A lot of my friends call me Marcus.
So sometimes on a date, you'll wait until throughout the dates.
Yeah,
and
because a lot of times I'm still trying to feel them out, how much information I want them to know.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm purposely hiding stuff. It's just, I don't want to get into too much personal information before I feel safe with that person.
Yeah.
I've just met a lot of crazy people.
That's true.
Yeah,
so you got to keep things private for a
Yeah.
while.
Yeah. I was talking about my brother who's named Mark.
Okay.
And then she's like, wait a minute. You're Marcus and your brother's name is Mark?
Oh, gosh.
So I kind of had to say, oh, well, yeah, no, Marcus is just a nickname. A lot of people call me that. So I'll go by either, but yeah. Anyway, so that one came up once. All right. Question number 2. She says, I know it's not considered proper etiquette to ask for money before meeting in person, but if I don't and the date is a dud, that was such a loss of time and energy. It's difficult to know who is worth meeting with based on just a quick back and forth chat.
So she's saying she wants to ask for money up front.
Well, she's saying she knows it's not good etiquette, but what if she's just wasting her time?
Yep. I have it in my profile. I don't have the amount, but I have a process that I go by, and it's in my profile that I prefer a gifted meet and greet, and then I'll do 1 or 2 compensated platonic dates. And then if we hit it off, I would expect to go into an arrangement. So that's already in my profile, so people know it up front. But yeah, it's a point of contention with how to do that.
Okay. Number 3, that being said, how long should I wait before meeting someone in person? I say as soon as possible.
Yes, agreed.
Don't waste your time.
Yep.
I've texted people for weeks.
Yep.
Met them, and that was it. What a waste of time.
Yep.
You have too.
I have.
It's ridiculous.
I have. Yep. The sooner the better.
Yep.
And that's why I mentioned last week on that episode that with people traveling so much, like I travel, the guys travel, sometimes I can't meet them right away.
Yeah.
And we do a lot of texting, but yeah, I would say the sooner the better.
And finally, number 4, as a sugar baby, I want to protect my safety first. Do sugar daddies know I may bend the truth when it comes to where I live, what I do for work? I don't want to lie, but I don't want to reveal too much about my personal life at first meet. I think that's understandable.
Yep.
100%. As a man, I get it. I've sent Uber for people, and they'll go to like a local gas station or Circle K or the corner of somewhere nearby because they don't want me to know exactly where they live.
Yep. And I'll tell them up front that until I trust them a little more or feel more comfortable with them, that I'm not going to give out my work information or my last name or something like that, or my address. So yeah, I agree. And I think any man that pushes back on that it's a red flag.
Yeah. No, men should understand, especially on this site.
Yeah.
But I've had women get upset. They're like, you're giving me a Google Voice number and I'm not going to do that, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I don't know you from anybody.
Yep.
Like, I have no idea who you are. And I try to explain to them, I do it for safety, mine and yours.
Yeah.
Right? So.
And I think vanilla daters that come from the swiping sites, they're not used to the people trying to be private. They use their real numbers. They use their real names most of the time. So then when they get on Seeking and they find that people are doing the opposite, they question it, but they need to realize that that's the kind of site it is, that we're trying to keep our information private.
Yeah. Yeah. And then once you meet them and you trust them and hopefully been out on a few dates with them and you feel comfortable, then you can start slowly revealing that information.
Yep.
And they should understand. Yeah. Okay.
You're listening to Secrets of a Sugar Daddy.
The San Francisco Symphony brings extraordinary multi-sensory experiences to the immersive underground club atmosphere of Soundbox. February 6th and 7th, be surrounded by the dream world of Dream Awake, a new program curated by violinist Alexi Kinney. Experience the sounds of a lush garden at twilight, the fear and frenzy of a shadowy nightmare, and a finale warmed by the welcome rays of the rising sun. Don't miss Soundbox, February 6th and 7th. Tickets at sfsymphony.org.
Now back to the show with your host, Marcus.
All right. I've got one here from a gentleman who has joined our Patreon, and we've actually done some coaching with him now, but he's fairly new into this. So I'm just going to read you his letter and a few questions he has. Hi, Lily and Marcus. Love your podcast. I've been binge listening for several weeks. The information is entertaining and also very helpful. Well, I'm glad you find it entertaining and helpful. I find it quite entertaining. But it says, I'm working on scheduling my first meet. I've been chatting with a girl for several weeks that has gone well. We had one phone conversation where I thought I would get a range from her, but I tried to gently guide the conversation there without asking her PPM or expected allowance range outright, and she seemed to want to avoid giving numbers or even suggesting a range. But I didn't press her on it, so maybe that was my fault or not pushing harder. Yeah, there's some girls who right up front, they'll say, hey, my PPM is $800 or $1,000 or whatever it may be, and I'm available once a week, or, they'll be very straightforward about it. Then there's other girls that just like, I don't really want to talk about this. I feel uncomfortable talking about it. Let's just meet and see where it goes.
Yep.
Is there one that's right and wrong? No. It's just, you've got to figure out what works for you so you don't get taken advantage of.
Yeah. And I think the more confident somebody is, like the longer they've been doing it, the more comfortable they are giving their range or whatever. I think the newer people are uncomfortable even talking about money.
And the guy doesn't want to come off too cheap, but then he doesn't want to, overextend himself if he's on a budget. So it kind of gives them an area where they know that they could fall in and it would probably be okay with that girl. I actually like, I get hit on this, up on this too. People say, well, what's your allowance? What's your PPM? I'm like, well, it's a range depending on, how often you're available, how the chemistry is, what we're doing. And my range is 600 to 1,000 or whatever I'll say. Right. And then, I try to keep it somewhere in there. So they know that my range is not 1,500 or 2,000. And if that range doesn't work for them, then they can just say, well, I'm looking for something a little higher, or that works great, or whatever. So it kind of opens up the dialogue without getting too specific.
Right. Yeah.
And honestly, I've met a few people and the dates went amazing and the sex was mind-blowing. And what part of the range do you think they got?
The higher end.
The higher end.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So I was more than happy to, because I want to see them again. And I want to make them feel appreciated, and that I do value the time and effort that they put into the date.
Yeah.
That's me personally, and I hope that's most people. I didn't want to give them the bottom of the range and seem too cheap.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. He says, since that conversation, I've done more research and I'm getting...
This is great that he's doing research.
Yeah.
I wish more guys would do that.
He says, I've done more research and I'm getting the impression that you don't talk numbers until you meet in person for the first time. My thinking was to get a sense of the range we're talking about so that we could avoid wasting each other's time if we're wildly out of alignment. Yeah, just like we talked about there. I'd appreciate your guidance on that conversation since we won't be meeting for several weeks yet. Schedules just won't line up until then. I also have a few other questions regarding a first meet. It says, I'm not anticipating any intimate time, but we have been chatting for a while, and I've heard on the podcast that sometimes it happens. Yes, it does. I don't plan on pushing for intimate time, but if we land ourselves in a situation where we're both interested in that, do I just book a hotel at that time? Yeah, I never go into the first meet and greet with intimacy on mind. Sometimes they'll suggest it. Like those, like, yeah, I'd love to go out with you. And then can we go to your place afterwards? I'm like, well, I'm like, we'll see.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not, I got to make, I got to make sure I'm attracted to you. Right. But at least they've opened the door. They've suggested that they're okay with it. And then a lot of times people, just by reading their bio or the way they text, you can tell if they're open to it or not. So it's kind of one of those things, you got to read the room, right?
Right.
And then as far the hotel, I booked an Airbnb and she really liked it. At first she thought it was sketchy. She was like, what is this? I'm like, I just booked an Airbnb instead of a hotel. I think it's more comfortable.
This was after a meet and greet? Or?
Yeah. This was actually, after a meet and greet.
Okay.
Yeah. He says, it seems like a silly question, but this being my first time, I wouldn't want to give her the wrong impression and show up unprepared if she's thinking I should have had a hotel booked already. Second question is how to determine a PPM range that is appropriate. I've seen numbers all over the place, and I also suggest that it could be tied to the price of a one-bedroom apartment rent in the area. Is that a good guide? I understand there are many other factors that go into it. Rents, a one-bedroom rent in our area is like $1,400 to $1,500. Two bedrooms are like $2,000 and up, so I wouldn't go there. I wouldn't say that's a standard. I've heard standards in the past.
Is he from this area, Phoenix? Because it's going to be different.
No, he's
depending
from
on where he's from.
He's from up north, but he's coming down to meet a girl in the Arizona area.
Okay.
Yeah, because they do come down here for some vacation and stuff.
Okay.
I would say a good range of a PPM is a first class flight to Cancun. Yeah, that would probably be a good range. All right. Third, should I give a PPM before intimacy? I've seen it suggested not as that encourages girls that serially show up to meet but never plan on going further just to get some cash. But I'm also interested in this girl and I don't want to put her off. If you do recommend exchanging money at the meet, would it be the full PPM or something smaller? Well, not that a guy is paying for sex, but it's kind of common in the sugar dating world for a guy to give a bigger allowance or PPM if there's the full experience involved, right? Mm-hmm. So yeah, that one's you've kind of got to read the room and know that person, and hopefully you can feel it out. Yeah. I hate though when people ask me for the money up front. Like
Yeah.
I'll go to dinner and they go, "Hey baby, you got my PPM?" I'm like, "Yeah, don't you worry about it. I got it. Don't you worry your little ass out. I got it."
Yeah.
They go, "Well, can you just give it to me now?"
Oh.
That just kind of rubs me raw. Like, look, do I not look? I know there's got to be some trust on both sides.
Yeah.
Now, if I give it to you now, I have no leverage.
That's right.
Right? Mm-hmm. And then, with Jay, we talked about, if you give somebody their yearly salary in January, they're not very motivated
check out.
to work.
Yep.
But when May comes, and certainly
right.
not very motivated by the end of the year.
Yeah.
So you compact that down into a dating scenario, they're going to be really motivated to come to dinner with you. But then if they have their money already, and then they're not digging you or something, they might like, you know what, I'm feeling a little under the weather. I think I'm going to go now. And they've got, what?
right.
What do you do? Ask for your money back?
That's right. Yeah.
It's a tough situation for men. So girls, don't do that. That's just such a turn off. I've had many girls do that to me.
Oh, you have.
And some of them worked great. Some of them worked out great, and others went in their car and left.
Oh,
I've talked about that. So, yeah, that's a good one. Fourth, I think this is the last one. I was considering where we should meet, and I hear that coffee or drinks is a great starting point. However, I know that she loves sushi, and I've also heard on your podcast that sushi seems to be a great date. Yeah, for most people, except Alejandra doesn't like sushi.
I don't either.
But the nice thing is I get to take my other dates to have sushi because she doesn't like it, so she doesn't feel like I'm cheating on her, like taking them to like one of our favorite restaurants or something. So that kind of works in my favor there because I do love sushi, and most girls do. I'm telling you, it's a good thing to recommend, like a first date, first full date sushi. Yeah, I know very little about sushi, he says, and I think I've only had it once. It just isn't prevalent in my area. Hey, I grew up in bumfuck Central Texas, and I didn't have sushi till I was in my 30s. We just didn't have it there. We had chicken fried steak, mashed potatoes, corn, fried okra, T-bones, ribeyes. I mean, that's what I grew up on. Sushi. Why would you want to eat raw fish?
It's kind of a California thing, right? I mean, a West Coast kind of.
I don't know. It's nationwide now, or worldwide. I mean, every city I go to
Because
has
it's not
great
big in
sushi
Michigan.
restaurants.
It's
No?
not big in Michigan at all. I didn't grow up with it.
Well, I think it's a great suggestion. And if they say, well, and I've had girls say, well, I'm not really a fan of sushi. Most sushi restaurants have other things.
Oh, they do?
Yeah, they'll have like teriyaki chicken or, they'll have noodle dishes or whatever, but they always have some kind of alternative. Let's see, it says, I know very little about sushi, and I think I've only had it once. It just isn't prevalent in my area, but I'm more than happy to take her to a sushi restaurant if she really enjoys that. Just wondering your thoughts on that. Well, I say that would
He
be
has some really good questions.
Yeah.
I like this guy. How old is this guy? He's done his research. He's got good questions. He's binging the podcast.
Oh, you know what? He does have one final question on this thing. Yeah, this guy's older and he's married. And he brought up, it's so interesting, he brought up to his his current wife about seeing other people, and she okayed it.
She did.
Yeah, I think it's just she doesn't want to know about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm interested in him.
Yeah. No, super nice guy. And then lastly, he says, how do you recommend giving the PPM? I had originally thought I would put it inside a card, but I heard on one of your shows, a sugar baby talked about how cheap she felt because her date handed her the money in the restaurant. I remember that. She was very offended, and if I recall correctly, she ended the date. But on the other hand, I've heard and read several stories about women that were offended because they didn't get the PPM right away and were concerned they were going to get scammed. I don't want to put her in a position where she needs to ask for it, but I also don't want to offend her by making her feel like it's transactional. Being my first meet, I'm rather nervous about this and doing things the right way. According to her, she's done this many times, so she has a lot more experience than I do. Thank you for listening and everything you're doing for this community.
Wow.
Here's what I do. Usually at the end of the date, I'll bring it up and I'll say, hey, what's your Cash App or Venmo, I want to send you a little gift. And they'll give it to me and I'll send it to them. The other thing I do is and I've had a person like, they don't want it traceable, so they only want it cash.
Yeah.
And I'll just, at the end of the day, I have it in my pocket and I'll slip it in their purse or their back pocket. And, I'll just make like a little joke, like, here's a little help with your rent, or, here's a little help, on your birthday, or here's some presents for your kids or something like that. I always kind of like classify it as something other than here's your
a transaction or
PPM
something
for the night. I always say something like, I don't know, maybe I just like saying it that way, and I think they like hearing it that way, and it just kind of, it's a nice into the night.
Yeah.
It's always tough, and this has happened to you where you're leaving the date, you haven't gotten anything, and like a day later you still haven't gotten anything, and you're
That's
like,
right.
Well, damn, now I got to like say, hey,
Yep.
what's the deal?
And I've had somebody say, what do I owe you? That's such a turn off.
Come on, man, be better.
But the better ways that I've experienced is where the guy is very discreet and like he's walked me to my car.
Yeah.
And then right there he'll slip me something. Or if I'm at his house afterwards, I'll get it from him afterwards. But I also would not like just like outwardly handing me cash. That would not make me feel good at all. Yeah.
Right,
and I think it's a little different for everyone. That question from him is a really good one because he's trying to learn. He's trying to understand how it all works.
Yeah. No, I had a really good coaching call with him, and he signed up for the coaching tier. So I look forward to speaking with him even more as he goes through this sugar dating journey. Mm-hmm. And he's in such a unique situation that he does need a little bit of help because he's a first timer and he's married, but he's doing it with her permission, which that's the ideal way to do it. And he loves his wife. He'll never leave her. Yeah. But this will definitely help the relationship, I think.
So this is one of those things that's considered ethically non-monogamous, E&M. And I've recently been with a couple of guys who are married, but their wife knows. And I think that's so much better than them cheating on the wife and all of that.
Well, I tell you, I'm a very spiritual person. I do believe in God, and I do believe in structure, and I do believe in family unit. And I grew up in a great family unit myself, but my marriage just was not working. And I did love her, and I stayed as long as I could. And I think, who knows, but I think if I was able to be ethically non-monogamous in my marriage, we'd probably still be married.
Isn't that something?
It would have saved our marriage. And she did not want to get divorced. She was very, very upset because this was her second divorce. And again, both of us got married with no divorce, ever getting divorced in mind. But after like 16 years, it just was not working. I wasn't happy. And I'm in the prime of my life, right?
Yep.
And my mid 40s. And I just think back and I'm like, I was so lonely with the intimacy part and with the connection part. And if I could have just had that outlet.
Yeah.
There was a lot of other things I really enjoyed about her, and we had a lot of fun together, went on amazing trips and shared a lot of great experiences together, but there was just this missing part, and I wasn't able to fulfill it unless we get a divorce.
Yeah.
So it's a weird, it's a strange road for me because I didn't grow up this way.
Right.
And I don't want to advocate to people, hey, you need to have another partner to be happy. But for me, personally, I think that would have done it.
And I grew up in a really strict Catholic background, and through my marriage, I was Catholic, so I never would have even thought of any of these alternative types of dating. But I do now hear a lot from a lot of people that these alternative lifestyles are working for them, and it saved for some of them, it saved their marriage.
Yeah. We have gone over. Can you believe that? We got to go.
Yeah.
Well, I hope you guys enjoyed. I thought we got into a lot of great subjects today. Again, if you want to get coaching and profile reviews like this gentleman did, and you want to ask us questions, please join our Patreon at patreon.com/secrets of a sugar daddy podcast. Contact us on Instagram and follow us on YouTube. There's lots of great ways. I answer to so much, but we do need your support. And really appreciate you guys listening to the show. And I appreciate Nikki for coming in and give us some great insight.
Yeah, thanks, everyone.
Okay, we'll talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye.
Thanks for joining us. If you'd like to connect or even be on the show, we'd love to hear from you at secretsofasugardaddy.com.
Discover the fun of live music with a night out at the San Francisco Symphony. Gather with friends and be inspired while you take in some of the most famous music in the world. Experience iconic classical works, breathtaking orchestral brilliance, and the power of music to inspire. Tickets start at just $30. Find your concert at sfsymphony.org. That's sfsymphony.org.